So after a slow start to the day, a dead battery, $221 later, and being late for a luncheon with my brother, we had a great day. Stay tuned and you'll hear all about it. Plus, lots of other goodies too. Well, Mosi and I are getting ready to go over to my nephew's house because my brother Tommy, my youngest brother Tommy, and his wife Mosey have flown in from New Jersey for a week to visit Brian and me too. And we're going to have lunch with them today over at Brian's house. And it's only about half an hour from here, but Lucy and I are in the process of trying to get ready. And I just took my curlers out of my hair. I haven't set it in a long time. Normally I'll do my scrunchie or something, but I don't know whether I'll get any curls out of this, but in a little while I'll try and see what I get. Right now I'm doing my nails and just trying to spruce it up here, right? You know, in getting ready this morning, I was doing various things that for one reason or other, I haven't had time to do in a while. And this was one of them. You know, the old, get the old chin hairs and whatever. Well, I turned my flashlight on like this. Have you ever done this? And lit up your lower face with the light. And I have my mirror here and I put it on magnification. Whoa, was I shocked. It wasn't just the old 8 or 9 that I normally think I have. You know, it's all over the place when you look with the mirror and the light. You know, so many people that I know, so many women, shave their faces with these various women shavers. And a couple of my daughters even do that, my older daughters. And I know there's something, I always thought that if I ever did that, it would just come in like a man's beard, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I think that might be next for me. As they say, getting old ain't for sissies, right, Mose? So while my fingers are drying here, I want to tell you. So this morning I was up early. You know, Moosey, speaking of aging, whether the lack of sleep goes along with it or what, I don't know. But it seems to be we're back on the horrible sleeps again. Every time I wake up, I look over and Moosey's got his Kindle lit up, so I know he's awake too. And we have these witching hours throughout the night. Plus, Moosey's had a little flare-up of his coughing, and I know that that wakes me up as well, and him. Plus, he has a little restless leg syndrome, so he's sitting up on the side of the bed. I think we're going to have to probably, I know our daughter Dub takes something, and I don't know what it is. She doesn't take it regularly, but when she wants a really good night's sleep, I don't know whether it's melatonin or Tylenol PM extra strength or what it is, but she said she can get 6 or 7 hours straight. I'm at the point where I can sleep maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours and I'm up. Now, whether that has to do with the bathroom, drinking more water, or just the idea that I'm not a deep sleeper anymore, things wake me up, I don't know. But I've got to fix it because I don't really find myself napping in the daytime to begin with. And once in a while, I'll get a good night's sleep, and then that's it. Then we're back to the old thing again. Whatever. So early this morning, I did get up and go out and check the garden. My amaryllis is blooming. Looky. It's not quite lavender. It is a lighter pink than I normally get, but Colleen thought it would be something similar to the picture or perhaps the wax bulb, but this is my spring amaryllis. Quite a number of blooms on there. How many do you see? Wow, and even some coming down here, I think, at the bottom. Down here. Exciting. That's that little one that Colleen gave me. She said it was a spring amaryllis, and it's in that wax bulb. And I noticed that the flowers are starting to come out. She said she thought that it was a lavender one. Now, I'm not sure whether it is that or not. It looks to be more the color of the Christmas ones, but I've never seen one come out in the spring. But it's exciting to kind of watch it. What we planted the other day with Moosey and Aiden seemed to be coming along fine. So I did water everything this morning. We're into that May gray. It's finally here. And it gets warm and the sun does come out somewhere around noontime. So I'm hoping for my brother's sake that they get some nice weather while they're here. Tommy always likes to go to Disneyland and visit all the California sites. Plus, he does like to spend time with Ryan. So we'll be spending the afternoon over there. And I thought I'd get a jump on trying to put a video up for you. I will take a few clips of our visit over there and hopefully have it up for you tomorrow. I think before I go any further in this video, I'm going to try and see if I can brush this out, but I'm going to have to go do this in front of a mirror. I'll be right back. My hair is getting a lot longer, and as a result, it's not curling up too tightly. But the reason that I am letting it grow, of course, as you know, in the summertime, I do like to do all those updos. And one of these days, I'm going to show you how I use those combs. I meant to bring one in with me, but I have those tortoiseshell wide, big curved combs. And when I do my swoopies on the side, I pull the rest of it up in the back, and that comb will hold all your hair up in the back. It has long teeth, probably about 13 teeth. I think I've shown, most of you have seen this, and I will do some more hair things. And yes, many of you have asked, do you think that taking collagen every day now for probably about 2 years, that it has improved the growth of your hair? And I'm going to say a solid yes. I have shown you in the past how thin my hair really has gotten as I've aged. I used to have real thick hair, and I would say that in my late 70s, that's when I noticed that it was starting to thin a bit. But around 80, 82, somewhere around there, I started to see that I had some pink spots in the back where I could actually see my scalp. And I showed you some of my secrets for giving the illusion of thick hair. And I think I've managed to do it most of the time with dry shampoo. And I'm going to do another video, one of those, it was one that went viral, I guess, a year or two ago, and I called it Fake It and Make It. And it was all about how I took my dry shampoo and made my hair look as if it was voluminous. Nah, not great, but pretty thick. And one of my biggest secrets in trying to get my hair to look thicker is to get it away from the scalp. And dry shampoo does that, my friends. It really does. And they have dry shampoos for darker hair and lighter hair. And I know that whatever was the problem with some of them, they seem to have fixed it with some of the, you weren't supposed to inhale certain things, but I think they've fixed all that now, because Tresemme is one of them that is out and still on the shelves and fine. And another one is not your mother's something or other. But, you know, they all seem to work the same for me. Whatever ones are on sale, I seem to buy. And that is my secret. But in the summer, when that heat just gets you, I do want it up off my neck. Speaking of aging, which seems to come up so often, I was trying to figure out last night what I was going to wear today. And of course, I always love this is one of my favorites. And so many of you have asked me about this shirt. This is a Walmart shirt that I got a couple of years ago. And, you know, with the Walmart clothing, I hunt around to find unusual things like that boho blouse on, the recent blouse that I just showed you, the white one that I wore with my turquoise jewelry. Blouse on sleeves are gigantic. Look at them. Yes, it is a bit over the top, but I loved it. It's boho and it does look nice for the occasion. It was just in one of the last videos that I made. And it had these big giant sleeves. And when I saw it, it just seemed so unusual. And the same when I saw this one. This has buttons that go all the way down the front. It does have pretty big sleeves. They're not as big as the white blouse that I bought, but I love the smocking on this. And that was what drew me to it. I don't know whether it's still available, but many of you have asked about it. So go online and see if you can still find it. But the Walmart clothing is fun. But to get back to trying to figure out what to wear, you know, you're always looking. I haven't seen Tommy in a while, and I'm his big sister. And I was looking at the pants. Now, Shannon, as you know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, was helping me do some purging. And every once in a while, I go looking for something, and then I remember, oh, yep, that's something that I did purge. And I know that happens to you too, because you've told me about it too. But I did find a pair of white pants, and they're sort of dressy, maybe slightly off-white, that winter white that I found. They're a little bit dressy, that I managed to save. I think I almost threw them out, but I decided to save them. And for those of you who follow the don't wear white until May, I put these pants on today with this shirt. So I'm a little bit dressed up, but it's a casual luncheon, and I will probably be out in Brian's backyard if the sun comes out. I know they're planning on it because recently they did redo their whole backyard and patio and everything. I'm kind of excited to see it. But back to the aging. You know, we've talked about all the funny different things. They're not funny. They're a pain in the neck, actually, when you think of all those things that go along with getting older. And that's trying to put a pair of pants on. You know, you used to be able to just stand there right in the middle of the room and pull one leg up, pull the other, get them up and put them on. Now you either have to lean back against a wall or sit on the edge of the bed or a chair or something in order to get these pants on. And especially the softer ones, you know, when I was putting on long pajamas, you put your leg down in them and your toe doesn't quite get all the way through, and you try and pull it, and the toe is not going all the way through. I don't remember any of these problems when we were younger. Do you? I mean, getting dressed was a snap. The only worry about was trying to decide what to wear. It wasn't worrying about whether you could get into them within a minute or two. Amazing. But on the other hand, I'm grateful that I'm still here at almost 88. And I was lying in bed. And you know, when you're lying in bed at night, that's another thing that, you know, those thoughts go through your head. You know, you think about your age. You think about the time that of your lifespan that you've been here and all the wonderful things you've done, the wonderful children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that you've lived to enjoy and see. And that's the grateful part of it. The other part of it is realizing that you've probably used up a good portion of your time. And those thoughts, those crazy thoughts go through your head. And one of these days, we're going to talk about how to deal with those thoughts and be able to just keep on going without letting those thoughts get you into a deep rut. This is something else. I am so concerned with drinking water. It's not a natural thing with me yet, because of those 2 episodes that I had where I was carted off to the hospital in the paramedic truck, sitting in the back of the truck wondering, what the heck am I doing here? And it was dehydration. And I was watching a YouTube show the other night that they were talking about, they're calling it clinical dehydration. And it's something that when you get older is a big factor in your life, and it affects so many things. Quite frankly, it affects your longevity. And people who have been able to drink water all their lives and live with it that way, most of my children and grandchildren drink water and carry these big gallon jugs around with them, and they down it just as part of their life. With me, I never was a big water drinker. Fortunately, I was alerted to the fact that I better start downing it. And it has sent me into a couple of situations where I was dehydrated down to the cell level, where it affects your kidneys, it affects your heart, and it is so important. It it has hit me like a ton of bricks. And I hope that you all, I know many of you have told me you've had the same experiences. So, do you know that I have totally given up any diet soda that I drank all my life? And this is it. I still don't enjoy it, but I'm learning that this is what I do. I drink it with a meal. I try and drink it during the day. I still don't get down those 4 or 5 bottles of these things, but I'm trying hard. Are you? In this video, I've also put a salad on that I made twice in the past week. I am enjoying this so much that 2 mornings I had it for breakfast. One day, I think I just ate it all day long. It was so enjoyable. And that is the Mediterranean salad. It's it's so simple to make. And that's another reason that I absolutely love it. I made it 2 different ways. I always throw in a little pasta, mainly because it just adds a little something. But there are so many variations to this Mediterranean salad. It's composed of cherry tomatoes, all different colors, and olives, different kinds of olives, the Kalamata olives, the pimento, the green ones with the red inside, the black olives. You just keep throwing these things in. You cut up a little bit of cucumbers. What else did I put in? You can put in some slivered almonds. Honestly, it's fun to do because each day you think of something new that you can add. I've fallen in love with red onions again too. I didn't realize the sweetness in a red onion. I've always gone for the sweet white onions or the sweet yellows. And I use onions so often in so many things, but I cut those up and I leave them big in big slivers. And my dressings are usually just red wine vinegar and olive oil, or I put a little bit of spicy Italian dressing in just to give it something. And then the herbs, you can go wild with those. I love my dill, so I'm always putting dill in, or oregano, or anything you want to keep tasting it. But the one thing that I did find this past week, I did find I love pasta, and even though we're trying to do that low carb, high protein, I found a pasta that has 26 grams of protein in it. The carbs are a bit high though, and it's a red lentil. It was a deep red when I looked at it in the box before I boiled the noodles, and they did lose a bit of their red color. But I put that in the last salad that I made just the day before yesterday. And it has the taste of wheat pasta, which you have to cook a little bit longer because it doesn't quite taste like the regular normal pasta. And but it does blend in, and once you get the oils and the herbs and everything on it, it's great. And it's good to know that you're eating something really, really healthy. So I have put both these salads on. They're quick. And I've shown you how I just keep throwing stuff into it, and it's kind of fun to do. And I know many of you have tried this too. This is the first salad I made last week with the bow tie pasta, and I loved it. This one has a little cucumbers in it, and I think I ate the whole thing in 2 days. I love these cherry tomatoes. Here's how I throw the onions. Just throw in those olives, Kalamata, manzanita, and this is the red lentil pasta. Throw in that pasta. It did lose its color. A little bit of Italian dressing for taste, red wine vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, whatever you prefer. Oh, it's so good. In went the dill, and I love those tiny peppers plus lots of feta cheese. That helps make it, or blue cheese, whichever you like. Toss it up after you put in some sliced almonds or any kind of a nut or dried cranberries, a little bit of pepper, and oh my goodness, you will love it. Well, it's about time for Moosey and I to start loading ourselves into the car. And the sun still has not come out. It's 20 after 11 in the morning right now. And we want to get there by 12ish. So I think we'll start soon. I sure hope the sun comes out for them because, you know, when you go anywhere on vacation, you're always looking for good weather. And I just hope that the forecast is supposed to be nice the rest of the week. So, but we do get that May gray in the morning here, that's for sure. So I'll catch you later when we come home, and I will put a few more things up about our lovely little visit with my brother, and catch you later. Sitting here outside, can you believe it? Dead battery in my car. Moosey sitting in the car. We went to get in the car, nice, 11:30, on time, get there nice and early. Went, got Moosey in the car, wheelchairs all set, got in, turned, nothing. Oh, isn't that annoying? I think I got a battery at least 2 years ago with AAA. Thank heavens we have AAA. So I called them and told them how old I was and playing the age card. And they've been really good. We've been members with them for over 50 years. So they're coming in about 10 minutes, hopefully. I've already called Brian, so that's okay. We're fine with them. And my Shamu is sitting here next to me. It still is gray May. Moosey's in the car. And hopefully we'll get the battery restarted or maybe a free battery if it's 2 years. But you know, aging, when you think it's 2 years ago, it probably was 4. So whether we get a new battery or not, I don't care as long as we get there. So you never know how your day's going to turn out. I know it'll be great. And by the way, can you see I do have my white pants on and they're great. I wish the sun had come out. I would look a little bit more fitting, right? Well, okay. They've never let me down. Say hi to Shamu. He's keeping me company there, and Moosey's sitting in the car. Hopefully we'll be on our way. I'll catch you later. Well, we're home now, and it's close to 6 o'clock. And on the way home, would you believe Moosey said he was hungry again? I was hoping to get away with not having to make any supper tonight because we had a lovely lunch, and it was a late lunch. We didn't get to eat until 2:30 or something like that. So whatever I do fix for supper tonight will definitely be light and easy. We had a great day with my brother. It's always so much fun to see them. I have 2 brothers, one that's 2 years younger than me, and Tommy, the brother that I saw today, is 13 years younger. So he's what I call my kid brother. And he's married to a lovely gal. I just love her. She's like a sister, Mosey. And they have 3 kids. And they came out to see one of their boys, Brian. Brian and Kristen, his wife, live in North Orange County. So they're here for a week, and usually when Tommy comes out, he loves to do the Disneyland bit and loves to go to San Diego, and he's full of running around. And my kid brother is now gray-haired, still looking great, but a bit slower in the way that I said, well, you all set for Disneyland? He said, wow, who can afford that anymore? And that's the truth, isn't it, my friends? So they're just going to enjoy their time with Brian and take some drives around California and just kind of do the slow route. So we had a wonderful lunch. I did take a picture of it. Moosey had made some chicken bits that were wonderful. She made them out of breasts of chicken and had this wonderful honey something sauce on them. So we had some of those, and Brian had gone out and gotten some Jersey Mike's in honor of New Jersey, Jersey Mike subs, all different kinds. They were delicious, and we had them with some chips, and we just sat out in their newly done backyard with a beautiful fireplace and outdoor cooking and a whole big long kitchen island and chairs and comfy couches. We just had a wonderful time and spent several hours. In fact, actually, the wonderful AAA man did get there. The battery, whatever caused that battery to be dead, I don't know what. It only set us back a little bit, about 45 minutes late for our luncheon date over there. And we did eat with them in the backyard. But I said to Moosey, I can't figure out why we have a dead battery. I didn't leave a door open. I couldn't think of anything that I did wrong, and it hadn't been sitting there for a while. I was out yesterday with it. However, the fellow did come. I pulled the old age card and said I was 88 and we were late for a meeting with my brother who had just flown in from New Jersey, and he was a great guy. So he said, I'll be there real soon, which he was. Just great. We've been with these guys for a long, long time, maybe 50 years. So he checked the battery and it started up a little bit, but he checked it. And I said, can you check and see? I'm sure I got that 2 years ago from you people at the time. So he looked at it. He said, actually, it was 4.5 years. It's that same old thing that I say about getting older. Time flies like you wouldn't believe. Something that you think happened a year ago happened 5 years ago. And it's a real physical thing that actually happens in your brain, by the way. It's not your imagination. So we were on our way quite early, and it was just great. Now, you'll probably see some pictures. You know, when you're having so much fun, having a wonderful time, you forget about the picture taking. And while we were sitting around this lovely backyard, I thought I would be taking pictures, but I forgot. But we took pictures in the end, those group pictures, and I'll just put a couple of those on. Oh, what a lovely lunch after my harrowing day of the dead battery. Look what we're experiencing here. Now, I'm sure lovely Mosey had a lot to do with this. Tommy's wife. And we have chicken and a pretty candle, fruit, nuts, yum-yums, something over here, and beautiful roses. Ooh, did Brian pick those up? Aren't they gorgeous? No, they're not roses, they're tulips. What are they?
Roses from Hopsy.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. So pretty. And what's over here? Oh boy. What do we have here, Mosey?
We have lots of different kinds.
Oh, this is a sub place, huh?
We have Jersey Mike.
Oh, Jersey Mike.
Jersey Mike subs.
Mikey loves them down in San Diego. Well, we are ready to dig in. There it is. My poor Moosey looked like the walking wounded. I think you knew that we had a dermatology appointment the day before yesterday. And he only had a few things on his hand that he wanted finished. And on the way over in the car, he said, now I want her to do this and that and only this, and I want her to do it today. I don't want any things taken today and then wait another month or whatever. I said, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be under your control. Well, we lucked out. When we got there, she took a look at him, and I think she wanted to do a full scan, and Moosey had already decided that at this age, please just take care of what you see, what the bad ones are that are bothering me, and, you'd be able to buy 3 Mercedes if you started in on me. So she laughed and she said, okay. She looked him over in his face and his hands, and she said, Okay, we're going to. I don't know whether she used the word zap, but that was my word that I've given to this. It's a big thing with a needle on the end, and it sort of burns things off. So the things on his face that she saw on here, and he has a lot of stuff on his forehead, she did the old zapper with the big long needle, and did give him some lidocaine shots beforehand and a few things on his hand. But when she looked at something on his side, she said, no, we're going to have to do a biopsy of that I think we'll have to probably do some surgery on. And while we were there visiting, by the way, the doctor called and said, yes, we will have to do some Mohs surgery on this. So that's something that will come in the future. So the rest of them, I guess the zappers kind of scab up and go away, I'm hoping. But he did have one big one here. He has them all over his face up here. But here, she called this a unicorn. So there were 2 or 3 that she actually said, I'll just dig out now. And there was one here, and then one on his thumb, and another on this hand, and one over here. So I'm changing dressings once a day for, I guess, a week or so until they heal up. And by the way, once again, you put Vaseline, and I know so many people think Vaseline is just petroleum straight from the ground. Dermatologists say it's a great healing one. It's petrolatum. It's the purest form of Vaseline, and they all use this to help heal the dermatology work that they do. Can you believe that? Well, so he's looking good. Wears the baseball hat, and I think so far so good. I'm doing okay with the nursey bit. I've always said I'm a great teacher, not such a great nurse. But so I'm ready to go to sleep. Talked to Colleen on the way in. We met her. She was out taking Duncan for a walk, and we were discussing melatonin. And I think tonight might be a night for Moosey and I to have melatonin. Why we're not sleeping, whatever. I know coughing has been a problem with him lately at night, but whether I have too much going on in my head, I don't know. But I would like to be able to sleep for more than an hour and a half, that's for sure. So we might take a melatonin tonight, and I'll let you know how it works. Well, that's it for the day, my friends. I hope you all have a wonderful May. Hopefully your weather will be nice, especially those of you who back east are just looking forward to the beginnings of your spring. Many of you told me that after looking at my gardening video last month, you said you were very excited to get started yourself, and hopefully the weather would turn. And those of you over in the UK seem to have very nice weather, and your gardens are blooming. So I'm happy for you too. Thank you all so much for your binging and your watching all our videos. I so appreciate you being here with us on our channel. I'll see you real soon, and we have some more good discussions about food and about good habits to keep us going in these super aging years. Bye for now. Love you all, and God bless us all.